Okay, good morning students. So today our topic will be about the food safety measure. We are studying in the earlier classes, we have studied about the various food safety measures like the GMP, good manufacturing practices. Then we have studied about the good handling practices. Then we have studied about the prerequisite plans. And then in the last class, we have studied about HACCP. That is the most important program of the food safety and standards. That stands for health hazards and critical control point. So in that we have studied about the different type of hazards. Then we have studied about the different types, how to prevent those hazards, and what are the various critical CCP, what are the various different critical control points where we can apply the corrective measures. Okay, so now today's we will be studying about SSOP. That is also one of the food safety measure or the program. SSOP stands for Sanitation Standard Operating Procedures. So we will be studying in detail about this topic in today's topic. So the definition of standard sanitation standard operating procedures or the SSOP, in short form we can say it as SSOP. It is the common name which is given to the sanitation procedures. So whatever the various sanitation or the hygienic, or we can say the cleanliness procedures or the activities which are being done in any of the food production plants or the food processing industries, so that is called as SSOP. Okay, so here it is written that it is a common name which is given to the sanitation procedures in food production plants which are required by the food safety and inspection services. Okay, so as a food production plant or as a food manufacturer or processing industries, we have to follow certain rules and regulations related to the sanitation or the hygienic activities, and then the proper validation is also done. Here the supervision is also, or we can say the inspection is also done, that whether a particular food production plant or the manufacturing or processing industry is following all the criteria or the protocols which are related to food safety uh, and for the prevention of any contamination or the microbial growth. So it is considered as the prerequisite program of HACCP. So it is considered that it is one of the most important. It is considered as one of the prerequisite, means it is the most first point of any of the HACCP program. Okay, so it is a prerequisite program. Or we can say the other definition as of SSOP is that it is a written document of procedure and programs. It is a written document of procedures or programs used to maintain equipment and the environment in a sanitary condition for food processing. That means all those activities or the sanitation hygienic activities that are being followed in any of the food production plants, that are written, means they are properly recorded and they are written document of procedures or programs. So whatever the activities that are being done to ensure that the minimum amount of risk or the contamination, so and also all the equipments used and the environment in a sanitation condition for food processing industries. So the other definition of SSOP can be, it is a written document of procedures or programs used to maintain equipment and the environment in a sanitary condition, means in a clean condition for food processing. Okay, so these can be the two definitions of SSOP. Another point is that it is a step by step description of cleaning. It is a step by step, means there are different protocols where we have to follow the step by step activities of cleaning and sanitizing procedures, and specified, everything is very clearly specified in those protocols. What is to be cleaned? So what are the activities that are, what are the step by step activities that are being followed by them is what is to be cleaned. Second is how it is to be cleaned and how often it is to be cleaned, means cleanliness has to be ensured and it has to be properly inspected, means after certain particular interval, means there has to be certain interval, and means on the either on the daily basis or on the weekly basis. So it has to be cleaned how often. Okay, then fourth point is what records are used to monitor the procedures. So this also we have to keep in mind, that what are the records. We have to keep a proper record of all the activities that are being done in any of the food production plant. So what records are used to monitor the procedures, and also monitoring of the procedures is also very important. Monitoring is also is also done in on a timely or a weekly or annually basis. That means that is also called as auditing. And SSOP is a fundamental part of food safety plan. So it is one of as I have already told you in the last slide, that it is a prerequisite plan for any of the HSCCP program. So it is a fundamental, or we can say it is a principal part of a food safety plan, because it is very important. Maintaining hygienic condition, maintaining means avoiding the risk of contamination is also very important. So it is a fundamental part. it it may be a it may be a standalone procedure or maybe a prerequisite program. So in another way we can also say it as that it is a prerequisite program, okay, for any of the HACCP program. It shall be updated whenever there is a change in processes or chemicals used. So in any of the company, if any changes happens, if any changes happens, or the use of the chemicals, or if if anybody has changed the procedure or the process of doing a particular thing, then it has to be recorded properly in that SSOP procedures. Okay, it should be reviewed annually with the food safety plan, and it should be annually reviewed. It should be reviewed also annually. And SSOP may be written for, so as we have seen that a proper record keeping is important. So record keeping is done. It is means we have to write what we have to write in a proper SSOP is a piece of equipment, whatever the equipments that have been used, then several pieces of equipment. So SSOP can be of the different types depending upon the requirement, and depending upon the depending upon the company also. So it can be a piece of equipment, or it can be several pieces of equipment in a process. So whatever the different equipments that are being used in any process, so it can be a one piece of equipment, or it can be several pieces of equipment, or an environmental area also, whatever is the environmental conditions, that is also being recorded, and as a master sanitation plan for the whole facility. So whenever we keep the proper record of the procedures or the activities, then it acts as a master plan for the SSOP. The facility is required to maintain these written procedures on file, and these must be available to regulatory or government bodies upon request. So when an annual or a weekly or monthly auditing, or the evaluation is done, or the inspection is done by the regulatory authorities like government bodies, or the other regulatory like FSSAI, so other regulatory bodies, then as if they have kept a proper record or the written records of those activities, then it will be easy for them to present in front of the regulatory authorities or the government authorities. SSOP include a complete description of the specific activity. So what actually SSOP involves, it involves all those activities, all those specific activities required to maintain utensils, okay, and equipment free of pathogenic. So in any of the food production or manufacturing or processing industries, big equipments are used, okay. So their proper uh, sanitation and their proper cleaning, that is they should be free from any of the pathogenic microorganisms, is also very important. So SSOP includes all those activities, that whatever the activities or the processes that has been done in order to ensure that there is that all the equipments are free from any of the pathogenic microorganisms and minimum deteriorating microbiota, preventing the contamination of foodstuffs that get in contact with these utensils. Because first the utensils have to be sanitized, they have to be clean, they should be clean, they should be free from any of the pathogenic microorganisms. So then only we can keep the foodstuffs, like if then only we can keep our food processing foodstuffs in those utensils. So all the SSOP includes all those activities and the procedures. The company is responsible for implementing the procedures described in the SSOP plan. So who is responsible for implementing the SSOP plan? The industry or the company, okay, as well as maintaining daily records that document implementation, monitoring, and any corrective necessary action. So who is responsible? The company is responsible for all those activities, so that whenever any of the regulatory or the government authorities come for the inspection, they should be able to present themselves in front of themselves that they have maintained all the safety procedures and protocols, and the food stuff that is being processed in that particular industry is free from all the micro pathogenic microorganism. Okay, and any corrective action. So if in the process of production, if any mishappening happens, okay, if they found that certain equipment is full of contamination and also, if they should have taken the corrective action, okay, so they have to take the corrective action. So they should also note down this, that whatever the what was the problem, how they did the corrective actions, how they implemented the corrective actions, so all those things should be properly recorded. Non-food compounds and other substances used for cleaning sanitation must be controlled and used only for their intended use. So all the non-food compounds and other substances, they should be used, like the washing material or the liquid detergents, whatever they're being used for cleaning, for sanitizing, for sanitization, must be controlled and used for their intent. They should be used only for the cleaning purposes. Employees must be trained. This point is also very important. So whatever the employees, whoever employees are employed in those food processing industries, they should be fully trained, they should be skilled, they should be free from illnesses. Okay, if we found any of the worker is influenced by any of the virus or microbial contamination, then we should not allow them to enter into the company. They should be free from any illnesses, or and we should practice all the good hygiene, good hygienic practices should be followed. We should wear durable and appropriate cleaning clothes. You must have seen in any of the food companies, they always wear caps. Okay, they always wear caps so that not a single hair should enter into the product, because it may lead to the contamination of the product. They'll wear all the safety measures like shoes and everything is there. So in order to maintain that sanitization and hygienic protocols and adhere to written standard protocols, so they wear all these things because there are certain written standards and procedures that they need to follow. Water should be potable. So whatever the water which is being used in any of the food processing industries should be potable. It should be tested for on an annual basis, that it is free from all the microorganisms. Okay, the water should also be very pure. And if it is being used for the preparation purposes, then it has to be checked. Means its temperature should be checked, and pressure, everything has to be pre-well checked. That will minimize the use of detergents and other chemicals. So we should also have a proper supply of water. The different directives of SSOPs have been determined. The potential sources of contamination. Now we will see that what are the different sources of contamination. Cross contamination from raw to cooked products. Okay, so cross contamination means contamination between two different products. It may happen, like for example, raw, that is not raw material. Raw products are those which are not cooked. Okay, they are raw materials. And so the contamination, cross contamination can happen between the raw products and the product and the cooked products, that are the final products. Surface contact with the contaminated food. So if there is a contaminated food present, if there is a contact with that food, then the contamination can happen through this way also. So this is called as cross contamination. Second point is contact of product with non-potable water. Example, condensation on exposed product or other unsafe substances. Okay, so if the water is not well checked for all this temperature, pressure, and everything, so if the water is not checked, then also the contamination can happen through water also. So water can also be one of the sources of contamination. Then third is contact with non-food substances like pesticides. Okay, so if in a storage company, if there are certain pests, then if we spray certain pesticides against them to protect our food material from them, then cross contamination can happen through non-food substances also like pesticides. Then the fourth point is contact with airborne substances. So airborne substances like diseases or inadequate hygiene of handlers. So if whatever the handlers are there, handler or the workers are there, if they do not take proper precautions, then the contamination can happen through the handlers or the workers also. Foreign matter. So if there are certain foreign matters like stones, pebbles, and everything, then dust, if the proper cleaning is not done in those industries, then the contamination can happen through that way also. And pest control. If the pest control is done in that particular company, then it can happen through pesticides also. So here today I will complete my topic. Then we will go to the discussion part. Thank you.